Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of PFA Color Suite. Today we are looking at how to color grade a music video with PFA Color Suite, the new AI color grading pipeline and assistant that built in every single 12 tools inside this toolkit. Now it's powered with AI features. So let's take a look at the final outcome first before we go to the color grading tutorial. Let's get started. Okay, you like the outcome, so now we dive into the color grading session. So now we go to the timeline and look at all these 4 clips. There is the original kind of flat profiles. So contrary to usual workflow of using color space transform, now with the correction lock that built in, this whole stage is much more simplified. You just need one click grade with AI. Done. It's cleared from log to Rexon overnight instantly. Of course, you can use the correction exposure, be you want to be brighter or want to be darker. You will calibrate all the parameters to create different look depending on the AI influence that you create. You can generate a punchier look. You can create different level of lock, you have the full control over every single thing. And the image is great enough after this stage, and you can go to CinePulse AI, click generate look. You will call 135 parameters across this entire toolkit to create a look. So you can lower the film look intensity, you can go to different vibe, you can filter through all the vibe. For example, you like this one, you can go to the next shot, copy paste, and see how everything that works out across the image. Of course, some image is too bright, we can go to generate exposure, lower our correction lock influence, and this is it. That's how simple this entire process is to get a perfectly nailed corrected image at the beginning. So now let's talking about the look. PFA Color Suite, the Generate Look CinePulse AI has been improving ever since version 6. So now version 11 is really becoming a personal assistant. The more you use our toolkit, you will develop a local brain that lives beside your system, that understand your parameters and understand how you usually tune your images. So I always like to go for the vintage green and yellow style. So this pretty much nails it perfectly. And I can use, for example, correction lock, change the AI influence and determine how contrasty, how fading I want this entire look to be. And best of all, because they are calling out all the tools, I'm able to fine tune the result. If I don't like the density, I can increase the color density. I can reduce the color density, totally up to me. And I can turn on the mask. I can make cyan pops more or less. It's totally up to me. So you have the overall unprecedented kind of control over LUTs on your image with PFA Color Suite. Okay, so this totally transforms who you are. Previously, it would take hours to build a look. Now it's just a few clicks, and it works perfectly. Not like some trashy grade and trashy LUTs, because this actually adaptive to every single image you have. So, for example, I built this style. I can copy and paste them, and now I have a very consistent image across the entire timeline. And that's how fast and easy it is, guys. But now let me show you a different way. Let's try to grade everything from scratch and see how complex things can be, okay? Actually, nothing is complex after we build this tool. So we regrade the clip. So we go down to correction lock, one click, will pretty much return to the night spot. Correction exposure to get is a perfectly exposed image, and with correction white balance, now it's a perfectly balanced image, okay? Once we're done with this stage, now we can go to film tonal curve. This is where it really sets the print style for film. So we can go to black points and raise the shadow softness, and we are getting a very nice milky gray in the shadows that prints in the image, and we can increase the global contrast, and now we have the vibe and the moody vibe right into the film. And now spectral contrast, this is something that has never been existed before. But before I move on, because since we're touching saturation, let's turn on RGB parade and vector scope so it's easier for us to communicate here. Look at spectral contrast. What you do when you increase red contrast is trying its best not to influence your exposure at all, but is actually creating that massaging, that palettes and separation among your green contrast and blue contrast right away in the image. Look at just this single feature itself is enough to set a grade. That's how powerful it is. And now, maybe I want to try split tone. I want the shadow and the mid-tone to have different kind of colors. So I turn on curve overlay, increase shadow split, and let's manipulate the shadow hue. Let's change it to cyan, and look at how we just inject a nice cyan in the shadow. And let's boost out the mid-tone with a little bit of green to add a vintage style to it. And I'm pretty much happy with the split toning here. Look at how well this grade stays. And next, I will jump through all this. I think I go down straight to film mixer because this is where you're really building a palette. We already sort of massaged the entire image into a very nice defined palette right here. I can just increase the teal and orange to further define. You see how widespread some of the colors be. When I increase teal and orange, it will massage everything within the color palette. This is normalized slider as steroids. Then this is teal and pink. This is magenta and green, which is a totally different style. And look at how well the skin protection is. Our skin is perfectly sitting neutral. Look at the skin protection mask. Everything is being protected. Without the skin protection mask, your skin will go magenta when you increase the magenta and green. But with skin protection on, it only affects the color. So that's how well we treat and understand the importance of skin protection. So once film mixer is done, next we want to fine tune. For example, now the nice sliders underneath the film mixers actually helps you to calibrate the look. For example, now I have a teal and orange palette, right? What I want to do, I want to add a little bit of green into it. So maybe I go to green output, increase the green, and then I'm shifting my entire palette slightly towards a different kind of tonality at a vintage tone. And that's pretty much how I like it. And that's it. Next, film separation is further helping to elaborate the entire look. I want it to be less dense or more dense to create a moody, melancholy sadness in the entire shot. So I can do the red and cyan reduce a little bit so it's not that glaring. And magenta and green can shift it a little, blue and yellow. So it's stretching your entire axis specifically along this line. You have never seen tools that do so well in terms of this kind of film and saturation separations. Okay, next is printer light. When it comes to mood injection, film printer lights is the #1 tool for you to achieve that. If you never record the color on set, it's totally fine because film printer lights, if you turn on the production mask, it is depth map on steroids, okay? With the shadow protection and skin protection, when you don't calibrate them, you are actually injecting more colors into the scene in a specific zone. So in which, for example, now I want to create golden hours. I need some yellow in the shot. I just increase the yellow. Look at how well, just by that slider, it doesn't affect the overall image. Look at the RGB parade. It's only treating the areas that we show that is done by the protection mask. Look at how well this injection is. Instantly, we change the tone and change the time of shoot. That's how powerful it is. Sometimes you shoot two different scenes, you try to match them. Film printer lights is the way to go, okay? Traditional printer lights don't have shadow protection and skin protection. Look at what happens. This is traditional printer lights. With skin protection and shadow protection on, we are doing very refined depth map treatment to the entire image. And let's increase the green a little and nailed it. So this is the before and after of the entire grade. And the beautiful part is I can save it as a preset. I can load it in Premiere Pro, I can load it in After Effects, and in the future Final Cut as well. Getting the Final Cut to run now, so stay tuned. So that's all for this episode. Look at how powerful it is. And the promo code with Thank You 2026 is ending in exactly 2 days. So treasure your opportunity before you miss, or else you will regret for life. We are going for AI color grading pipeline. A lot of things that we want to do every day, like nailing the correction stage, is very complex. But now it's simplified in 3 clicks. How much time can you save? And when you bring a preset, you realize because we are doing 32-bit flow, it works across your different scenes at the same time. So that is the power of PFA Color Suite. You bring AI color pipeline that really speed up your workflow, and you can run so many projects simultaneously, and you'll be amazed how fast and how crazy you can grade with these tools. It's overriding the traditional ways of doing HSL, it's overriding the way of using depth map. Everything is simplified in very lean codes to run super well in every single machine. So that's all for this episode. Please download the free trial to try out all the functions for free before your commitment to buy anything, but just click note, free trials are always one version behind the latest version. So now it's 10.2 on the free trial, 11.3 in 2 days, releasing on 1st June. coming up. So that price will increase quite significantly. So treasure your opportunity. My name is Nash, Passion Fuels Ambition. I shall see you in the next one.